All right, my video here today is just a highlight into what it is that I would pack with me. Generally speaking, when I'm doing a hike, that may be by myself. This isn't necessarily what I bring every single time that I'm out on the trails, because it certainly depends on, am I in a remote area? Am I on a pretty open, accessible trail area where there's other people? Am I by myself? Am I with other people that carry supplies? Or just kind of the season of the year also makes a big difference. And so what we'll start with is really the things that I carry for my dogs, because almost always the dogs are with me on the trail. I make sure that I have a leash accessible dog poop bags. And then our dogs are e-collar trained. And so we have them typically, brown bears, on a GPS collared remote that has the vibration and beeps, and if we're in a predicament, it also does have the shock on there, which thankfully we rarely need to use. And you're going to hear our dogs going in and out of this video because that's what they do, in and out. And then the other thing that I typically will pack for them, especially on a more remote area or longer distance, is just a little emergency first aid kit. Many of the things that are in here would double as emergency kit for myself. There's some basic drugs that are in here and basic bandages, etc., that just help make sure that if we've got some type of abrasion or cut, or we need meds of some sort, I've got rescue meds that are in there. So that's typically what I have for the pups. Now, my base thing that I always pack is water, and I always pack an insane amount of water. I don't know if in a previous life I had a dehydration episode, but I pack typically no less than 100 ounces, and that's even when I'm doing shorter courses, and that might be maybe a 30-minute hike, hour-long hike, because I typically have the dogs with me. They drink a ton of water, so I'll pack 100 ounces, plus I'm always worried about somebody else running out of water. And then if I have a hike that's more than 2 hours, somewhere in that 2 to 4 hours, I'll pack a second bladder and make sure that I have 200 ounces with me. Now, from a nutrition standpoint, my longer hikes, I will usually have some sort of an electrolyte available to me, and this will already be pre-packed with electrolyte in there. And then I will bring different snacks like nuts, I'll bring meat sticks, I'll have quick goos or chews, and I usually have 1 or 2 protein bars. Now, that's a lot of nourishment. I don't have that much on a shorter hike, but if I'm 2+ hours, and Girl Scout here, I may pack for other people's snacks, or I just want to have it available to me just in case. Some of the other things that I will pack, I typically like to have my pocket knife. That's usually on my person. And then I like to have a Leatherman, just a little bit of tools just in case something is needed. You never know when you're going to get, I don't know, some kind of barbed wire or something else. When you've got dogs that are high adventure and high energy, you want to make sure you've got a tool to grab cactus or whatever it is that you need to do. When I'm by myself and in more remote areas, I pack an extra battery pack for my cell phone, just in case I'm recording videos or doing lots of, I don't know, somehow the phone just gets in a high usage point. I want to make sure that from emergency access, I have the ability to get a charge on my phone again. You will pretty much always see me with some form of sunglasses, some type of hat protection, or if it's bigger sun day, a bigger brimmed hat. And then I will usually go with sunscreen on, but I'll have some sort of extra sunscreen, especially in the summer days, that could double as even a lip aid. Typically pack a little bit of Advil in there just in case, you never know. My bigger, more remote hikes has this little emergency, it's basically cord with compass, it's got a flint stick, it's got a whistle. People laugh at me that I have that, but I thought it was a cute, I think I gave it for Christmas to all my nieces and nephews and my son one year, and I was like, oh, I want one too, but I have it. I usually have that clicked onto my pack somewhere. Never know when you need an extra Ziploc, especially if you have to use one of these. Hanky, do I need to say anything else? Also, why you might want this. Okay, next bit. This is some of the safety and protection, because when I am out miles and miles and I'm in a space where I know that there are bears, mountain lions, or sometimes people that are a little bit creepy, I pack protection. So I will typically have bear spray with me. That's usually in a pretty accessible spot just attached to my back. And if I'm in a space, again, by myself, I will often pack a firearm. And when I have that, I will typically chest pack it. So that way I've got it's super accessible to me, so that way I have quick access to it. It's typically concealed, although most people kind of understand when there's something right there that doesn't look like your normal backpack. They understand that something's going on there. And then probably the next bit would be, what packs do I use? If I'm doing my big one, I really like that because this packs 200 ounces really well. It does have at the waistband area. My usual go-to for my shorter packs would be this guy because it will slide in 100 ounces, and then I have quick access for kind of all the things that I need, which is usually my e-collar and snacks, etc. And that is mostly it. So that is a lot of stuff. Again, not all of that is in every single hike that I do. If it's a bigger hike, it might almost all be with me, but again, it depends on what are the people who are with me carrying. So if they're not really carrying anything, I would be inclined to carry all of it. And my shorter stuff, you know, I'm certainly going to prioritize water. I will always have the dog gear with me. I'll usually have a couple snacks. If I'm not remote, I don't usually pack this stuff, but I will usually have at least a pocket knife or something in case I need it, and then still always the sun protection. I hope that's helpful.